How's it going, guys? It's THEONE, and today I'll be giving you a character guide to Massiah. And this guy is... Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So Massiah is a light attribute DPS unit, so this means he won't suffer from type disadvantage when it comes to farming for modules in Doki Doki, Termaton, or Aurora. But if we take a look at his skills, his skill 3 is called Divine Descent, and it says here he deals 2 hits of 180% damage to all enemies, and this attack ignores 70% of defense and passives and applies a 1-turn invincibility to himself. And what invincibility is, it's basically a mode or state he enters to where he can't take any damage whatsoever. Broken, I know, right? So this is basically the main thing of his kit, the invincibility. And it's actually super busted in PvP, which we'll talk about in a bit. But his skill 2, it says he deals 3 hits of 80% damage to a single enemy, and the last hit also deals extra damage equal to 70% of the target's lost HP. So this scales up. This scales up to 70% of the target's lost HP. So this is very solid S2. And it says here that the extra damage cannot exceed 300% of Massiah's attack. Since this also does extra damage, it's going to scale to Massiah's attack as well. So his skill 2 is super solid. So lots and lots of damage. Then his skill 1, it says that he deals 2 hits of 110% damage to a single enemy with a 15% chance to inflict a 1-turn vulnerable. What vulnerable is vulnerable is basically a debuff that Massiah can apply to the enemies to where they take an increase of 30% damage taken. And his passive is called Judgment, and basically whenever Massiah defeats an enemy, he gains 1 turn of invincibility. So this basically stacks up, and this is why the invincibility thing is super busted, and why Massiah is probably the best DPS unit for PvP right now. But let's read on. So it says here, if he's already under invincibility, its duration is extended by 1 turn. So like I was saying, this stacks, right? And you can extend the invincibility to make it last longer. And it says it triggers only 1 time per turn. So a big reason to why Massiah is probably the best DPS unit in the game right now is because right now it's a speed and cleave meta. What do I mean by speed and cleave? Well, basically whoever goes first and can land their big AoE damage first, they win. So speed and cleave, like you could pair Massiah off with Klaus, you could pair him up with Lily, you could pair him up with Mio. Basically anyone who can manipulate the turn meter and enable him to go first, probably attached with a buff, then you're gonna absolutely destroy and shred through enemies. I mean, he already has 70% ignore defense and ignore passive, so having any buffs on top of that is gonna make him super strong. So yeah, so that's why he's very solid for RTA, and is normally one of people's first 1 or 2 picks to secure him, because he does big damage. Primarily the modules you want to run on him is the Onslaught for the attack percentage. You could also run Bramble for him to counter attack if he gets attacked, which plays into his invincibility. So if your enemy attacks him, it does no damage whatsoever, but it still has a chance to proc his counter attack. You could also run him with the Battle Will for a chance for him to do follow-up attacks every time he attacks. So it's going to be very good for clearing a lot of enemies on the field. I guess you could also run him with Onslaught, I guess, so he does more damage if the enemy is above 50% HP. However, his best in slot gear will be the Keen Eye, which increases critical damage, and also it says the first 3 instances of damage dealt by the Animus during the turn increases by 25%, 15%, and 5% respectively. And in my opinion, this is definitely the best set to run on Massiah, as he's going to do insane amounts of damage. So yeah, in my opinion, go with the Keen Eye. Another noteworthy set you could run is the Fury Edge, but like I said, the Keen Eye is definitely what you want to go with. So when it comes to shells you can run on Massiah early game, you can run the Agent Lizard. If we come over here to Apat, you can also run the Budo Panda. Then if we head on over to Fabian, you can use the Twilight Knight. And then the best, in my opinion, shell is over here. It's the White Fang. This is primarily my favorite type of shell to run on Massiah. I'll read it to you guys since I believe this is the best one. It says, after the owner takes action, follows up on the main target, dealing 2 hits of 100% damage. On a critical hit, increases the owner animus's critical damage by 5% up to 10 stacks. So that can stack as well. This is my favorite shell that I'm actually currently running on Massiah. Besides that, honorable mentions that you could also run is this. You could run the Golden Lion. It says every 2 times the owner animus uses 1 skill, increases the owner's final damage by 4% and effect accuracy by 6% up to 8 stacks. This is usable, but not the best to run on him. And then you could also run, where is it at? Trying to find it. You could also run this. This is going to be unlocked on the Rengoku, on the Rengokutsu. I think I said that right. On the Rengokutsu shell boss, you can get the count. This basically lets him able to life steal, right? He's able to increase his attack by 1000 for 2 turns and additionally apply a 2-turn life leech. So there you have that. So these are just some shells that you can run on your boy. So we got a PvP game here, and alongside Massiah, I'm running Mio, Freya, and Heinrich. Now, you don't need to run these units, as I'm sure these units aren't that easy to access, but instead of them, you can run Massiah along with potentially a, for example, you can run Gray, or another free-to-play unit you could run is Marvel. You could also run potentially, let's see, Chiaki the Echo for that attack up. Yeah, you could run any of these as well, any one of these dudes with Massiah, and you should still get good results, right? So yeah, you don't have to run these 5 stars that I'm using in here. And like I said, other units you could run is Klaus, but I don't have her on this account, unfortunately. Beotins are also really good. Tsukuyomi is also very good with Massiah. So like I said, those are just units you can use. You don't have to use these light units, these light or dark units, or Freya to make Massiah work. So yeah, we're gonna go in with this team and see how we do. Hopefully we're faster. Yeah, we are. So I'm gonna go in, steal the turn meter, and this is what I'm talking about: speed and cleave meta. So I'm going first, so it's highly likely that I'm gonna win this fight now. So we're gonna go with Mio to steal the turn meter. And I will be making Mio guide as well, guys, because she's absolutely busted. And we're gonna go with this the AoE with Freya. There we go. And then we're also gonna apply the last words with Heinrich's S3. Boom, like so. And then while they're already low like this, now we're gonna come in with Massiah's S3 and we're gonna absolutely shred. And I have his S3 maxed as well, so it's level 5. It's level 5. So we're gonna do a ton of damage and ignore defense. So boom, we took out the entire team with that one ultimate. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Massiah is... So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and I was able to provide some perspective and showcase Massiah well to show you guys how you should be building him, number 1, and why he's... Okay, that was the last time. That's the last time. But for real though, Massiah is really strong. The best DPS in the game, in my opinion, PvP wise. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on Massiah. Did you get lucky enough to pull him? What you think of him, etc. And let me know what other character guides you guys want to see in the future. So until next time, take care and peace, guys.